And before Ben begins, Marcy would like to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Henry. And since this is the last open session item for the day, and I was remiss this morning in thanking the Board Services Unit, the video team, the event planning team, and IT for setting up all of the logistics for the next 3 days. So a big thank you to all of them. So just a few comments to set up Ben's presentation, because I know Ben is very, very humble, and he will not necessarily talk about himself. Although we did announce Ben's arrival just, I think it was the last summer, just maybe a month from now, and Ben actually started with us the last few days of December. He really has only been here 180 days working in an official capacity, and so I think you're going to be quite impressed with what he's been able to accomplish in his first 6 months. As you know, this is a follow-up report. In January, Ben had made a commitment to the board that he would come back and share his review, and that's what he is going to do with you today. I think, again, one thing that's become crystal clear over the past 6 months is how fortunate we really are to be able to have Ben back with CalPERS. As you know, Ben was with us for a number of years, left for approximately 3, and then made a selection in his career to rejoin CalPERS. So he is a global investor. He's known around the world and highly respected in financial circles. As you can see by the preliminary returns that we announced at 6.7, it's been an incredibly volatile year. But he and the team were really able, and he has this poster on his wall in his office. It says, "Keep calm and carry on." And I think that's really been the hallmark of Ben's leadership, again, in his first 6 months. He has worked to focus the entire investment team on total fund approach, and I think he's quickly earned their support. And so even as we go into closed session this afternoon, you'll see that all the managing investment directors will be here and will be a part of that presentation. And all of us who work closely, and we have a huddle every morning, so we've gotten to know Ben quite well, and many of the board members have had some one-on-one interactions with him. Ben is incredibly smart. We call him wickedly smart, but we mean that in a good, positive way. And I also think he's one of the most kind people who I've really ever had the chance to work with. I think the kind of colleague anyone in the workplace would be proud to work with. So we are lucky to have you here, Ben, and I know we are all looking forward to hearing your report. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. I'm very excited to be here. When I returned to CalPERS to take on the new role as the CIO early this year, I promised the board that I would launch a 180-day review and then report back to you at least Offsite. So today I'm very glad to set out the findings of that review and share my thoughts on where the opportunities lie for us to strengthen our performance. So first, let me explain the process that I have gone through. As I told you in January, that I have made it a priority to get to know our CalPERS CEO and her management team, and get to know the investment office itself, and also most important, to get to know the CalPERS board's strategic priorities. So in order to listen and learn from each of these 3 groups, I have been fortunate to have the generosity of time and ideas from all of you. I'm very grateful. The findings of my review reflect a deep process of consultation, reflection, and data analysis to drill down into questions of importance. I would like to take this opportunity to thank each of you for making the time to share your understanding of how we can help CalPERS to better fulfill our goal of securing retirement and health benefits for millions of our beneficiaries. Protecting our members means protecting the CalPERS pension back. We pay out more than $20 billion a year in benefits, and we need to continue to do so for decades and even generations to come. We know from our CalPERS pension back that investment return make an essential contribution, 59 cents on every dollar. That is why the focus on the performance of our investment portfolio is so important. Let me share with you my conclusion from the review. First, I have gained a better understanding of our strength. Partnership is a key theme here. The leadership of CalPERS management team demonstrates a focus on strategic priorities and the delivery for the organization. For example, the decision to adopt a new discount rate to shorten the amortization period was tough but very necessary. Truly, because of this, the fund is on a much better foundation, and that takes leadership from the management team and as well as the board. I also see that across CalPERS, this leadership has won support and new respect. Despite challenges, our CEO has kept firmly on track and put the fund into a better position in terms of cash flow, contribution, and thereby strengthening protection of our members' pension and benefits. It is also clear to me that CalPERS stakeholders are highly engaged. They want to know what we are doing, how and why. They ask good questions and they put forward good ideas. They pay attention. This is welcome in a public agency where transparency and accountability are the foundation for good governance. All of this is coming together in a new sense of common purpose. We do have many activities to undertake, but they have one purpose: to protect our members. The way that we do that is by focusing on how to improve the funded status of the trust. To me, this can be summed up by thinking of us all being in the same boat. We need to pull all the oars together with clear direction, and ahead will be in stormy waters and maybe even in uncharted territory. But staying true to our mission and working together as a team is the only way that we'll navigate our passage. Culture is what keeps us true to that sense of teamwork, common purpose, and mission. Sorry, I forgot to flip the slide. So let me share with you my conclusion so far on the strengths of the investment office. A good example is the implementation of a new asset allocation targets. This was complex and sensitive work. The execution was flawless, and I'm pleased to report to you that we are reaping benefit from the new asset allocation work already. It was because of the direction from you, the board or the investment committee, that the management team started down the path of allocating capital to the new targets. This again showcases the partnership between the board and the management team. I have also been impressed by the strength of the investment office back and middle office. Because we invest so much internally of our portfolio internally, CalPERS essentially houses a full-blown asset management function within a civil service. It takes great skill and diligence to make sure that all the processes are working smoothly and the operations are humming. This aspect of the investment office operation is a credit to CalPERS, and the staff can be rightly proud of their accomplishments. Thirdly, I have been reviewing our human capital, the people in the investment office, to consider how their knowledge, skills, and a sense of purpose can be harnessed. Human capital is a vitally important asset in the investment management industry. And below is where I see opportunities. The first is to ensure that we are 100% focused on investment performance and take on activities only if they can drive up funded status. The second opportunity is to better protect the portfolio from investment risk. We know 10 years ago that CalPERS took a brutal hit from the financial crisis, and we are still recovering from it, as our liability has grown even faster than our asset since the global financial crisis. As I spoke to you in June last month, we need to make a plan for the next drawdown and make sure that we stick to that plan during stormy waters, rowing together, charting our course, and then we can take advantage of our crisis. Risk always brings opportunities. The third opportunity that we have is to complete the transition to a total fund approach. This is to make sure that every oar in the boat is pulling in the same direction. This will mean reviewing strategies for their impact and whether we can justify the resources and effort. And this will mean a change of approach for many in the investment office. And I have been very impressed by how many of the staff in the investment office are willing to get in one boat and pick up a new oar. We know that change is never easy, and it can be unsettling when new skills and responsibility are needed. But building that culture of teamwork for the total fund is my goal. Without it, will squander our time and talent on activities which do not make a difference to our funded status. Finally, in my review, I have had the opportunity to better understand your strategic priorities as CalPERS Board of Trustees. It is clear to me that through the many conversations we have had, that board members are deeply connected to CalPERS. Each of you cares tremendously about the challenges we face and what is needed to succeed. You are fully engaged with the partnership and establishing the priorities that are essential if we are to meet our goals. I greatly appreciate the common message that you are sending that my job as CIO is to focus on investment. I also have a strong sense that you are supportive of the changes which are needed. I welcome that, and I understand it is not easy to make such commitments. It is also time of opportunity for our board. Your leadership and direction will allow management to focus 100% on investment performance. Without your commitment, this cannot be done. Also, as CalPERS CIO, I'm fully committed to be held accountable through my reporting line to the CEO. Knowing that our CEO is managing the enterprise and directly reporting to the board will allow me and the investment office in the next phase to focus 100% on investment performance. Improving investment performance is essential to fulfilling our mission of protecting our members. Hence again, our slogan, empower the CEO to enable the CIO. It is also very impressive that the CalPERS board has engaged in its own period of reflection through the self-evaluation work led by NACD. CalPERS is once again at the forefront, taking the findings very seriously, and you are setting positive examples again. Oh, it's not meant by so many clicks. Let me, get everything on the table first. If we are to improve the funded status, we need to be laser focused on the CalPERS investment portfolio. We must pull together in the same direction with focus, pace, and persistence. It won't be easy, and it will take time. Pulling together will require teamwork from our CEO and her management team, from the investment office, and most important of all, from you, our board of trustees. Let me close with a note on continuity, a message to which I conveyed to you back in January. We will have challenges along our path to a fully funded status, and the investment outcomes are inherently uncertain. But my vision is steadfast, and to do that, we need to, 1, improve our investment capabilities. 2 is to focus on investment activities. 3 is to leverage our comparative advantages. And lastly, but not least, but true to a long-term investment horizon. Your commitment is vital to supporting a dedicated CIO and investment office focus on investment, and instill a long-term commitment and foster a culture of accountability. With focus, long-term commitment from all of us will lay a strong foundation for our success. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention and your support, and I look forward to answering your questions.
I guess it's getting late in the afternoon. Okay, well, thank you very much, Ben, for that update. And that concludes our public meeting for today, and the boards will be going into closed session in a few minutes. But I also want to thank the board service units and all the staff that were involved in putting this offsite together, because I know it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, so we truly appreciate all the work that you've done. I also want to thank today's presenters who have come from afar in many cases and also had to take time to prepare for this offsite. So let's give them all a round of applause. And I also want to thank all of the members of the people and stakeholders that are in attendance for your continued interest and also active involvement. Let's give them an applause also. So with that, Karen is going to highlight how the agenda starts tomorrow.
Thank you, Henry. For those in our audience, we will begin tomorrow's meeting at 8:30 a.m. right back here in this room. For the board, the closed session starts in 15 minutes, so please be back here at 4:50 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you.